I still think you can't beat Pride though. Like those early Prides when they had the big opening ceremony with all the fighters and the drummers and shit. They were just, that was like proper martial arts tournament.
It must have been. Wouldn't that have been a bit of a head fuck for your adrenaline though? You know, if you're a fighter, right, and you know you're third or fourth out or whatever, it's like, right, let's fucking go, boys. Your whole team's with you, and you know when it's time to get wrapped up. So you've got Stitch Durant in front of you, and he's sorting out your wraps. Your head's clear. The boys are getting ready, and it's like, right, we're out to fucking fight now. I get that, but you know, if they're like, just nip out the front 10 minutes, just go and see everyone. Just go and stand with your opponent. Then what? Then fuck off again so we can introduce the fucking first fight. It was very grandiose, you know, to bring them all out and to like parade them.
Showcase, yeah, fighters parade. But I've done a lot of fights where they did fighter parades. Like Muay Thai, they used to do like fighter parades in Muay Thai quite a lot and stuff. Like bring you out and like this, like the first half of the card are all like shaking and kind of half sweated up and got their gowns on, and they're greased and stuff. Yeah.
Does that not fuck with you though? When you think like, oh, like my only experience really from fighting is sat in lesson at school after I've upset someone, knowing that I'm going to be having a fight at the end of that last lesson.
Mate, I know that feeling exactly. I remember clearly that happening to me in a maths lesson, and there was a kid in the class, and it was basically it was on. Like once that lesson had finished, we would leave that room, make a left out the building, and it was on. And I remember for the whole hour, like sitting there with this kind of weird knot, like anxiety. And it's like, as soon as the lesson had finished, he got up and shot out, and I'm like, oh okay, he's shot himself, he's done, he's gone. I'm like, yeah, fucking swaggering out, walk out, and the guy clubs me from the back of from behind. He was hiding around the corner, waiting for me to come out.
And he done a full run, like as if say, I'm running so fast that way. Not really.
Yeah, and he hid around the corner. I'm like, got me. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling, that.
It's not. That was when I got punched with a knuckle duster.
Ooh.
I got caught on the back of my head with a knuckle duster from a guy at college. There was like a corridor between two rooms where life drawing was. So there was an old lady called Vicky that used to live there. We used to draw her in the nude, which was what you did at art college. And there was a youth club there that was a pool table. And then my classrooms were all this side, but the canteen was just the other side. And I'd upset someone. But he was a mate, and he laughed it off, and then because he was with all his boys, he was with all his crew, he sort of took offence to what I'd said because we were only joking, and then he just sort of chased me and clink back of my head, and I was like, to be fair, it didn't knock me out. I'd like to think if I punched someone in the back of the head with a knuckle duster, I'm fucking doing some damage. Like
you might do some time, yeah.
Yeah, Millie could do it with knuckle dusters and knock me out. So fuck that pussy. But I remember then having to go back to lessons and thinking, oh, fuck, now what am I going to do? Because I'm going to have to walk through there to get back to my motorbike to go home. And you know when you're just trying to play different scenarios through your head? Yeah, not nice. It's just that weird feeling.
Yeah.
I just imagine you'd get that feeling if you were at a fight ready to go. They call you out, then send you back again.
I don't think that, though. Because, so in a few fights that before the UFC where that has happened to me, it's kind of like you go out, and this happens a lot more when you do competitions that are not MMA fights, like jiu-jitsu or just any sort of competitions. So you're there and you see the public the whole time, right? And well, for those competitions, it's a little bit different because you have different mats and you have just a lot of things going on. But when you compete, you always feel like everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
Narcissistic, but it's true. You always feel like everybody's watching you. You feel a lot of pressure on you. So I feel like it's kind of good. It depends on how you view it, but you can view it as a positive thing because you can go out, sort of feel the environment. A lot of the times we create things in our mind. So I just be like, oh, there's too many people, or things are going to be crazy. And I go outside, or when the fighters get called and it's just okay, I can handle this. This is fine. Everything's okay. And then you go back in and you kind of you already saw what you're getting into. So there's no surprises. You can get what's there and you can relax about it. And then when you just go out to fight, there's some fighters that they're okay, so you have that tunnel, which is it's terrifying. So you can either kind of like just run to the cage or just like put your head down, just not think of anything, just go straight to the cage and try to forget anything. And just up until that first minute of the fight, it's like a whole different fight. You know, it's a whole fight of nerves and stuff. So up until that first minute, it's a whole different game. But or you can try to like, okay, I'm here, see everything, and kind of like take it in.
Yeah.
It depends on, in my opinion, it depends on how you view it and what measures you take towards it.
I was found taekwondo competitions were the worst because I was sitting in the stands waiting for my name to be called.
Mm-hmm.
So like there all day, sometimes all weekend, like listening for someone to call your name. Whereas like in a pro fight, because I signed the contract a couple of 3 months before, I've kind of gone through like spikes up and down. The worst is what you said. Is sitting in a lesson in an hour's time, you know, there's going to be a fight.
Just now, do it now, please. Yeah.
Well, like I've been at the pub sometimes. I've been at the pub a couple of times back in the day, and I knew someone was coming to the pub, and I'm like, you know what I mean? You kind of got that. Your heart slowly starts to pick up.
It's that angry butterfly, isn't it? That one that stuck by you. Like all the other butterflies, they fucked off because they came out your arse. But the one that stuck by you is just like giving it one of them. You think, just calm down. We're gonna be good. But you need to either be hit or hit something to get it to calm. I think
that's the best way is when it just happens.
Yeah, like what Veronica was saying, I would liken to, if I can, maybe the second time you do a driving test. Like the first time you do a driving test, you're terrified, nervous as fuck because you got no idea what to expect. The second time, you don't lose as much sleep. This is if you did two. If you did it the first time, the statistics say you're a terrible driver. So if you did it the second time, like me, then you're a boss. And I think what that means is that you have an understanding of what to expect. You know what's there. So if you're going out previously, seeing where everyone is, seeing where your family are, your friends and fans and whatnot, and then coming back, I suppose that could be a positive. Whereas if you're walking out for the first time, like you said, through that tunnel, which is, this is it. This is the time like, where everyone gets to see you straight away. And some people, I think, absolutely thrive off of that. I think there's a few people, they're few and far between, but they absolutely thrive off that energy of the pop. They come out, and then that just carries them all the way to the cage.
I never minded it. It was up until it was between hearing the call come into the dressing room from Burt when Burt Watson used to run backstage at the UFC. Then as soon as I heard that coming down the corridor and I knew it was time for my fight, I get nerves then, and that'd take me I'd then go and tie my bandana on. Then that'd take me all the way down the corridor until I was behind the curtain ready to walk out.
Then when you walk, it's different. I think it's like stages. So it's like when they come, they tell you 5 minutes. So it's like, okay, you're up in 5 minutes. Then you're just like, why the fuck do I do this? Right? You start to just question your life. Like, why do I do this? Why did I sign up for this? Fuck this, I'm going home. And then
that's the next t-shirt. Fuck this, I'm going home. Perfect.
With a Nike tick upside down.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I got in trouble for that before. I can't do that again. I'm already on Nike's radar. Trust me.
I think it's a whole different step. So then when they're like, okay, you come. So you're just like, you know what? Fuck this. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Fuck you. Fuck everybody. And then like you're stepping out, and then depends on whether you go first or second. You're like waiting for either them to go out or you to go out. So you're like, you kind of see them right in front of you if they're first. And then they walk out, and then you're just like listening to their music, and you're obviously talking crap about their music. You're just like, your music was crap. My music is way better. So that starts right there, or at least for me. And then it's just like, okay, now I'm gonna walk, and then that camera is just kind of like in your face, and you're just like, I hope I don't trip because I can't see because this light is so bright.
It's so close, right? And
it's really close, and
you're trying to grab your hat.
Yeah, and then and the floor, there's usually like some cables and stuff, and you like really don't know if you're gonna trip. For me, the worst is when I fought with ropes. Oh, that's the worst because I really thought I was gonna trip, like trying to get in one of the things because I'm not that tall. So I'm like in between like getting into the short one and then like the normal size people one.
Mate, We'll
just overthink it.
I'll take you to Wayne's gym and I'll teach you how to Prince Nassim flip into the ring. I'd
never do it. You know, there were so many Thai boxers that used to jump over the ropes, and they always used to say that anyone that could jump over the top rope was like, oh, you know, you don't go through the ropes, I go over the ropes. You go over the ropes because then you own the ring. I'm like, no, that's just bullshit. That is. I'm not going over the rope because I'll catch a foot and I'll headbutt my own corner.
And the thing is, you've seen it, and you remember all of the guys that face planted just doing that.
Dude, you know one of my favorite things. So my first opponent, so I fought him twice, Lee Dosky.
Yeah.
There's a video of him somewhere online. It's always stuck out in my brain because he was fighting on some promotion in the UK. It was a cage that was, you know, like maybe 2 or 3 feet off the floor and had some like steps up into a single door on one of the fence panels. So, and I don't know how you do this, but this is probably partly nerves and distraction because there's a lot going on. But he ran up the steps. He did a full lap of the cage and came back to the same fence panel, but then did a lean back like he was going to bounce off the fence with his ass and went ass first straight back out the door. For real. If I find it, I'll put it in the comment section with a time code because it's one of those things that's just it's comedy gold, and he didn't even mean to do it.
I've seen people jump off the cage before it started and stuff and twist their ankle and that.
Yeah.
There's one guy that sort of jumped in, he's celebrating that much, nearly knocks himself out.
Which fighter was it that tore his ACL celebrating on the jumping? I don't know if it was the ropes or the cage. I think it was like Dan Henderson or something.
No, it was he jumped and landed funny and then sort of hopped it off. But it's that thing that, this is what I was talking about the other day, like when I was on the trampoline. You got to try and play it off that, you're fine, but your leg's destroyed. It wasn't Gagey. It's someone who celebrates like Gagey. So he basically gets up onto the cage and instead of doing the moonsault, he sort of got on the cage, was celebrating, and then just jumped off. But as he landed, was like, oh, I'm nothing, I'm fine. But it wasn't fine. He tore everything. He fucking mangled his leg up.
I like the end of the fight with Alistair Overeem when he front kicked Travis Brown in the face, and like he just started to celebrate, and then he realised his toe was dislocated, and he tried to kind of limp it off. Mate. And as the doctor came in, the doctor was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think my toe's dislocated." And the doctor bends down and just pops it back into place.
Just like that. The ones where people run to the cage to try and jump up, and there's some guy stopping them, and they're like, "What are you doing, man? Why are you dropping?" We
watched the BJ Penn Cal Luno yesterday, the first one, the fast one.
Yeah.
Dude, his eyes. Yeah, exactly. Right. It was like an assassination.
Did Cal Luno look like he was wearing someone's swimming shorts from the 60s? The orange and white ones.
The lovely orange ones.
The little orange and white ones.
They were classics. They were
fucking lost property, mate. That's where they were from. Has anyone got any shorts? Cal's forgot his. Yeah.
Here's a pop quiz question for you. Who face planted Cal Luno?
Who face planted Cal Luno?
Yeah. He did a like a hip toss, like a judo throw. Face planted him because Cal Luno took his head when he was going forward.
It's not Matt Serra.
No, it's not an easy one. My clue is that he used to wear the same shorts as Tito, black with flames on the bottom.
Oh mate, I've just been through UFC 1 to UFC 100 looking at rivalries, and Cal Luno came up a load of times against Matt Serra, against BJ Penn, against was it Karo Parisian? Did he fight Karo Parisian?
No, although we watched some Karo Parisian yesterday as well.
Watch him in Tough 7. Watch him in Tough 7 where Karo Parisian walks in, because it was Tough 7 BJ Penn against Jens Pulver, and BJ Penn just owns the whole series, right? But at one point, Nate Diaz is in that series ready to fight Manny Gamborian, who is Karo Parisian's cousin. Mm-hmm. And basically, Karo walks in and he's like just trying to slap him a little bit, just fucking around, because he's the established UFC Hall of Famer at that point. He's like an established dude. And Nate just loses his shit. He's like, no, fuck that guy. Fucking get him outside. I'll whoop the fuck out of him, which I believe he would have. But no, I can't think who face planted. Huh?
He fought Nick, didn't he? Karo Parisian fought Nick Diaz.
I think he did, yeah. Back in the day. That was way before the Tough.
Yeah. Double digits UFC. I'm going back and watching some of these old fights. I want to put some up on the chat, some stuff up on the channel with him.
It's impressive. It's impressive how many people Nick Diaz fought before he disappeared to Strikeforce, Elite, and all the rest, and it never impacted his following. Like, he lost to Diego, he lost to Caro Parisian, he lost to. Did he lose to Joe Riggs? He lost a lot of times, but it was never like you were like, "Oh, fuck that guy."
No.
You were always just wanted to see him come back. That's all you ever wanted to see.
Yeah, cult figure.
Fucking big time, man. Who face planted?
Fabiano Iha.
Iha, fucking hell.